Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Yona of the Dawn, chapter 215. When we last left our heroes, Yoon had arrived with the Senjutsu now, and talk revealed just enough about the Senjutsu to make everyone think that Yoon had left Keen to get that for Guntae. And Yoon, of course, can't really tell them why without getting them all executed, so he sort of dithers, and Hawk takes command, claims that Yoon got the Senjutsu for him and him alone, turning all of Keen against the two of them, which I kind of wish we got to see more of, because the next scene, Hawk is just back in this sort of, assumed commander role, facing Ra'an in single combat. But Hawk instantly figures out that something's not right. And he, as well as Talk, who also sort of realizes that the river is going really slowly, they all kind of come to the conclusion that the river that normally flows into the Komutan is being dammed by Kai forces so they can blow up the dam and flood the province. And so Hawk tries to warn the people of the village, but Ra'an stops him. Talk tries to just run away from the water, but he's kind of caught by Kai troops, and is then saved by Suwon's small reinforcement of Kija and Jae-Ha, the latter of whom is happy to see a familiar face. So with that, let's dive right on into the chapter we have all been waiting for this whole time. Chapter 215, The Fall of Keen Province. Our cover here is of Yoon sort of helping out with some, I guess, used bedsheets, or bringing some clean bedsheets to be used. It's not quite clear. Everyone has their place. A sword is not the only way to fight, which ties into part of the end of Yoon and Hawk's conversation yesterday. Anyway, we see Yoon sort of notes something in the wind. The elder asks, who I guess has largely forgiven him for what happened earlier, "What is it, kid?" "The smell of the wind. Has it changed?" And then he looks out like he's noticed something, and he just runs, dropping the sheets. The elder calls, "Kid!" And he runs up to the watchtower, up to like the top layer of the watchtower. He looks out and he sees, just able to see, the coming flood from the looks of it. And you note, "It's water! There's water coming!" And he turns to Hawk's conscript, "Tell everyone to flee to higher ground." And Yoon runs through the streets. "Everyone run! Water is coming!" And no one's quite taking him seriously. I hope this is kind of the consequence of what happened last chapter, that sort of loss of faith. Calgon looks at him, "Water? Yoon, what's happening?" And Yoon tells him, "Calgon, go tell the villagers to bring the wounded to higher ground as well. This place is going to be flooded. Quick! Or else General Guntae and everyone else will die." And we don't really see the after effect of that. So we'll see if that worked, or if I'm right in that what happened last chapter was sort of soured Yoon in the eyes of the people of Keen. We then come back to the pirates and Kija and Jae-Ha. And Jae-Ha notes them, "Tuck, Maya," I guess Maya is the other guy's name, "what are you doing in a place like this?" And both Tuck and Maya just weep, "Jae-Ha!" and rush for him, "Jae-Ha!" And Maya tells him, "Because the dam broke, the water is..." And Jae-Ha notes that, if only we had arrived sooner. General Guntae, Hawk, Yoon are friends. Oh no, this is the pirate. "General Guntae, Hawk, Yoon are friends. There are still a lot of people in the village." And this is the first Jae-Ha's heard of any of this. "Hold on a second, Hawk and Yoon are here?" And Maya asks, "Are they not why you're here?" But Kija stops this whole conversation. Jae-Ha. And we see the Kai soldiers getting back up. The one that Jae-Ha shot with the knife kind of pulls it out. And Jae-Ha looks at them. "Well, we better hurry up then." And Kija agrees, "So much for our plan." And Tak looks at them, "Huh? What plan?" "We were entrusted to be the vanguard and ambush the Southern Kai soldiers. The plan was to take them by surprise. But that's clearly not going to work anymore because they just sort of already attacked. Also, it would not work because of the coming flood. But anyway, the two of them get ready for battle. Jae-Ha with his knives, Kija with his transformed hand. Tak and Maya just watch that as the two of them lunge at the soldiers. We see one of them almost shaking as he faces down two genuine monsters. And Kija just rips them all to shreds with his hand. We see like a commander figure off in the distance. What the? How? And he notes all of his fallen soldiers and then just sees Kija. Invaders! And Jae-Ha jumps up right into his field of view, ready to go on the attack. And the commander is just shocked. Whoa! And I think those are those kunai knives? Are those? Yeah. I couldn't quite see the knives there, but I didn't think it would be anything else. The knives hitting the back of the neck of all the various Kai soldiers. Another soldier sort of notes that, not quite realizing what's going on yet. And Kija just grabs his head and slams him into the ground. Jae-Ha gets a good kick on another one. And Tak just stares in shock. Incredible. The soldiers are at a loss for what to do. But Maya tells him, but I can already hear the water rumbling. Or can they? Because we see the rumble sound effect, and it's Judo and the reinforcements. Just like, I love Tak and Maya just like in the middle of it. Like, y'all should get out of the way now. But alright, it's a cool visual. Not sure it'll work because, again, the title of the chapter. Anyway, Judo makes the call, charge! And Tak notes, that's, and Maya, the general of the Sky Tribe? And Jae-Ha notes that looks like the elite unit was able to make it across. And then we get this flashback. I'm guessing of Judo. Me? To Keen Province? And Suwon tells him, yes, we're sending reinforcements to Keen, and I'd like for you to show them the way. Oh no, it is Jae-Ha. I figured it'd be Judo, because I figured Jae-Ha and Kija would be together for any sort of mission briefing with Suwon, given that they came together. But it seems it was initially just Jae-Ha. Anyway, Jae-Ha notes, I don't have an issue with showing the way, but if we're too late and Keen is already defeated, what do we do? And Suwon tells him if that were the case, South Kai surely would have declared victory already. And the only reason it hasn't come to that is because someone else has taken General Guntei's place and is keeping the troops together. So I'm not quite sure they're aware that it's Hawk, because Jae-Ha clearly wasn't. Jae-Ha did not know that it was Hawk. It's a little unclear if Suwon does, or if he's just kind of sort of being like, kind of beating around the bush with that or something, or if he just genuinely doesn't know who's filling that Guntei role. Anyway, Jae-Ha taunts, so I can't just leisurely give directions, huh? And he turns to Yona. Yona, dear, can I bring Kija along with me? Don't you think we would be most suited for a surprise attack? And once our opponents are in disarray, the Sky Tribe's army will strike. With my leg and Kija's strength, we can end this at once. Again, that chapter title looms over us all. Yona tells him, okay, but be careful. And we see, the flood is really starting to bear down on them. And Jae-Ha notes, this was supposed to be quick, but this flood is... and Judo tells him, green dragon, white dragon, leave this to us and go. Evacuate as many people as you can. Though... I was about to bring up the Yoon thing. I'm gonna save that till we actually see if Yoon's pleas worked. Because again, there might be people disbelieving Yoon, or they might have already evacuated. It's kind of hard to tell right now. But Judo, I'm not sure. Like, the Sky Tribe is currently right in the path of the floodwater. Wouldn't that sweep them up in it too? Like, can they survive that? I don't know. Or have they? I don't know. Evacuate as many people as you can. Jae-Ha turns to Kija. Kija, yes. And Kija gets on his back. They fly off. To be frank, I didn't expect the Earth Tribe's army to hold out after General Guntei fell. Oh, this is Suwon, back in flashback. So I'm very interested in the soldier that's fighting for Keen Province right now. I wish I could meet them. So he really doesn't know. And Jae-Ha notes the soldier that the king wants to meet. That can be no other than you, Hawk. And Kija sort of, I feel not quite getting the sort of drama of the situation. Just kind of retorts, if he wants to meet him, why don't we just grab him and bring him to the king? After we protect the people of Keen Province, of course. And Jae-Ha just up for the drama, just laughs, fine with me. But the flood is really starting to bear down on the village. And we see the villagers have sort of accepted Yoon's plea. Calvin calls, quick! And we see they're all sort of trying to climb up the watchtowers, getting to that higher ground. The conscript notes, so a group of villagers, I guess, trying to get up the tower. The watchtowers are already full. No way. Yoon calls, Kohen, get him on the boat. Gotcha. Hurry to Komatan River. And I think this is the eye patch guy who sort of yelled at Yoon last chapter. That Yoon is like sort of holding upright. Kid, you too. Yeah. Hey, go on without me. And Yoon stops. Not a chance. I don't want to have any regrets. And it's not the eye patch guy. It's another soldier who also... It was one of the other soldiers who fought with Yoon last chapter. Sorry for trying to take the medicine away from you. That Hawk guy protected our lives as well. And Yoon just tells him, Hawk understands. He understands that everyone has someone precious to them that they want to protect. He knows how much this hurts. And the Elder and Calgan are watching Yoon and the soldier trying to make it to the boat. The Elder notes, they won't make it in time. Yoon! And Yoon tries to help the soldier up a tree. Climb this tree. I can't. My legs are... I'll support you. And the water gets closer and closer and closer. The soldier tries to make a climb, but he fucks up somehow and falls. Right as the water is approaching them, Calgan calls, watch out! And the soldier is grabbed by Kija just in the nick of time. Pluck, who's already on the tree branch, hoists him up to the tree. Not quite sure if he got Yoon in that too, though. I don't see Yoon with the soldier there. Anyway, Calgan screams out, Kija! And Kija holds, almost bridal carries him. Are you alright? Uh-huh. But the kid! And he looks down and we see that Jae-Ha actually saved Yoon. That was close. Jae-Ha? So you came. And Jae-Ha notes, I didn't think you'd be here as well. Did you get to send Juso? And what about Hawk? And Yoon tells him about that. And we come back to Hawk, who, has the Senjutsu and everything, and has still been fighting Ra'an this whole time. Another Kai soldier calls out, General Ra'an, the plan was a success. Please hurry back here. And Hawk, who is out of breath, bloodied, bruised, but, despite it all, still standing. Hey, they're calling you. Don't you have to go, General Ra'an? And Ra'an is still fighting strong. It doesn't look that beat up, actually, though maybe Hawk just isn't really focused thanks to the flood. You've got to be kidding. This is a one-on-one match. And the floodwaters are approaching them. Okay, so they haven't quite reached the battlefield yet. And Hawk notes, I see. In that case, let's end it here and now. And Hawk just brings his glaive up, I think, Yuwon's chin, and cracking his armor and sending him to the ground. With that, Hawk just won. Rest in peace, Ra'an. And Hawk thinks, how's the village holding up? No. Yoon is clever. I'm sure they're all safe. And Hawk, I guess, turns to go check on the village, I guess, but he hears Lei Lin. Go. Quick. To the top of the hill. Hurry. And he's talking to his horse. His horse that still cares for him, even at the end. Go, don't die in this flood. And Hawk sort of acknowledges that of Ra'an, but, doesn't really have time to do anything for Ra'an, even if he wanted to. And we see Ra'an's thoughts. I knew I was no match for him. But still, I wonder if I have been able to honor His Highness Emperor Chagol and the souls of my fallen men. Lei Lin, out loud, he's still talking to the horse. Lei Lin, go! And we see Hawk came back to rescue him. Hawk is just too good. And Hawk puts him on the horse. What do you do? I'm not saving you. Lei Lin just wouldn't move without you on its back. He's choosing to save the horse. I always feel sorry for the horses that are used in warfare. It's the kind of thing that keeps me up at night. Someone with a better memory than me, is that right, or is he just making an excuse? It feels like he's making an excuse to just save Ra'an, because it kind of feels like it. I'm not sure. Anyway, Ra'an sort of mutters out, and Hawk slaps the horse to make it go. I feel the same way! And he kind of calls that out to Hawk as Lei Lin leaves. And Hawk watches him go, but he sees the flood is here. It's right in front of him now. And he notes, shit, the Senjutsu is with me. Yeah, because if he can't just die here, because if he does, everyone's kind of fucked. But he hears some screaming, and Jae-Ha is rushing for him now, and he just notes droopy eyes. You're here? Thankfully, that means Yoon is okay. And he grabs the bag of Senjutsu, and the flood comes. We don't... I'm assuming Jae-Ha saves him, because there's no way that Hawk just dies like that. Even if it is kind of not quite the most badass way to go out, but, this long, prolonged defense of Keen is quite a way to go. But yeah, the floodwaters come, chapter ends. He protected everything within his reach, except for himself. Continues November 5th. So with that, we're finally caught up. After the past couple of weeks of trying to catch up with Yona, we've done it. This is the latest chapter. The next chapter comes out on the 5th, which is Thursday, maybe? I think? Yeah, Thursday is the next chapter. So that'll be fun. Once again, getting sort of read this as it comes out. This chapter is not really what I thought it would be. I saw the fall of Keen Province, and I assumed this whole time that would be we would lose Keen Province. Hawk and Yoon and maybe Calgon and some of the soldiers would make it out, but it would largely be a large-scale defeat. Instead, the land was largely lost, but from what I can gather, most of the civilians survived. Yoon got everyone out in time because they believed him, which kind of calls into question what the point of last chapter's big scene was. Because it was a really good scene in the moment, but it does kind of feel like it had no consequences whatsoever in the end. Especially now that the soldiers already apologized for that without really having done anything, without really taking any actions that felt like a result of that scene, if that makes any sense. I don't know, it was a really good scene in the moment, but I'm not quite sure it led to anything meaningful in any real sort of way. But what we do get is plenty of fun. We get more time with the dragons. Nice to see them just taking action again. They take down some minor mooks real fast. And then the Sky Tribe arrives to deal with that while the dragons go deal with the evacuation. Which gets us a few good bits of the dragon sort of saving Yoon and the other soldier. And Jae-Ha going to save Hawk at the end, which, I'm assuming he does, though Hawk seems to have accepted his death in that last moment. But also, let's talk about that Hawk Ra'an scene. I was kind of critical of Ra'an, thought he was kind of a kind of evil gay trope, what I said back in 213 when he first sort of looked on Hawk. But I kind of like him in the end. He's the sort of genuinely caring guy that we don't always get from a lot of these, enemy generals. He sort of genuinely cares about his troops, about his horses. He cares about all of these minor people, and he wants to help them whatever way he can. I guess even unity is a really useful thing to have in battle. And so if he has to do that with the power of money to give the troops the sort of unity they need to kind of function, then that's just what he sort of has to do, I suppose. I hope any of that last sentence made sense, because it kind of got away from me, I think. But again, it's just nice characterization for Ra'an. I kind of would have been fine if this had been his last bit. But with Ra'an sort of escaping, thanks to Hawk's help, I don't know, we might see him again. He might sort of... There's a growing list of characters that I could see potentially changing sides as they get more and more indebted to people in Kouka. Maignan, of course, is deep in the debt of Yoon and Yona. Vol has a sort of affiliation with Maignan that might lead to him changing sides, especially if he does not want Maignan to face whatever consequences she might face back in Kai. Now Ra'an has a sort of debt to Hawk, as Hawk has seemingly given his own life up for Ra'an, which you could definitely argue is really bad military strategy. This great soldier giving his life for the enemy general is sort of not what you want from your soldiers, but in the guise of the story is a really, really great moment, I think. But then, yeah, the floodwaters are coming for Hawk. I doubt it's going to be it, but we're definitely supposed to think that it might be. And also, I'm really glad I'm reading this now and not in the beginning of October when it first came out and having to wait a month to see what happens next. I am more than happy to wait 6 days. But yeah, all in all, a fun chapter. Again, not at all what I was really expecting from the big fall of Keen Province. But Keen Province did, in a certain sense of the term, fall. and probably not hawk along with it, but certainly possibly hawk along with it. For more on that, we'll just sort of have to wait till next week to see. So, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. You know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!